evening, music lovers. Cat with Hats here at the Frankfurt Musikmesse. There's not so much going on. However, I bumped into some great drummers from bands like Robbie Williams, Motorhead, Jamiroquai, and so on. I didn't bring any questions, but luckily they had some for each other. So watch and learn.
Hey Mickey.
Hi Karl.
It's been a great few days here in Frankfurt. You're a good guy, and I've had fun hanging out with you and listening to you play. My question to you, Mickey, is I'd like to know what you had in your monitor mix. I think you use monitors with Motorhead. I'd like to know what you had in your wedges, because I'm sure it was pretty loud. Did you have enough bass off Lemmy's rig, or did you have more Lemmy in your monitors? And if you got the time to answer, what was your most memorable gig as the Motorhead powerhouse? I'd love to know.
It's been great to hang out here a couple of days with all you guys, and we had some fun. We're not done yet, thank God. Tomorrow we do another race, but yeah, I did get your question. With my wedges with Motorhead, no, I did not have barely any Lemmy bass in there, because he was so loud on stage that I got his headroom from his wedges. So he actually took my hair off just from his wedges. So what I had a shitload of drums, a lot of guitar, and lots of vocal. And the bass I got from Lemmy's stacks, actually, because they were angled slightly towards my drum riser. And it was a huge problem, actually, because I could sound check and have this perfect sound. And Lemmy came out and just plugged in, and it was all over. And I had to raise everything up. So no Lemmy bass. I had enough of that. And to your second question about memorable gig, you know yourself probably how hard it is to answer that question, because we do so many shows. I did over 5,000 shows with Motorhead, and I can't really say one specific gig. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's really, really hard just to get one show out of it. But thinking of one, when we played Le Cavitos in Athens, first time, and I'm half Greek, as you know, and the Greeks down in Athens, they don't think I'm at all Swedish. I'm fully Greek in their mind. And we play up there at the Acropolis sites. It's about 35 degrees out, 30 degrees at midnight. And I'm playing in front of all these crazy, lunatic Greek friends and relatives overlooking all of Athens. I don't know if you play there yourself. Le Cavitos, it's an amphitheater up by Acropolis. That was something that I always remember. And I mean, we done small club shows and great arena shows, and we played Rock in Rio, 550,000 people. And of course you remember those shows, but I used to say, any show, every show basically, where you walk off and you go, fuck me, that was great. That's a memorable show to me, but you know what I'm talking about. You have millions of them yourself, so I hope that is answer to your questions. I'll see you later on. We have a good run tomorrow. It's Friday today, Saturday tomorrow. We're gonna go and have a little drink tomorrow. See you, Karl. Hey, Marko, you are a badass drummer. You're a young badass drummer, youngish. I'm not that much older. But my question to you, my friend, is, are you thinking about how you sit and the angles you play in? Because I remember myself, when I was many moons younger, suddenly one tour, I started to hurt my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists, my back. And for us drummers that do a lot of shows, especially if you do 100 or 200 shows every year, it's very important. I thought it was very important to start playing with the right angles, straight angles. You have to sit with your back straight instead of curving and stuff like that. Are you thinking about that when you are playing a lot of shows? Because you do you're younger, and I don't know if you even think about that, because when you come up a little bit in age, that's gonna matter. I can tell you, if you keep playing, and I've been playing for a long time, so when I was young, I didn't give a shit, really, but are you giving a shit about it? Are you thinking, yeah, I'll be playing till I'm 60 or 70? Then have you thought about angles when you play? That's my question to you.
Dear Mickey, yeah, it's very important to know how to sit properly because of your back, not to sit like this. Because when you are young, it's not a problem, you know. But after years of playing, and as you became a little bit older, your back starts to hurt a little bit. So it's very important to, like in any kind of sports and what you do, it's always important to be, you know, flat back like this, sit properly. This is the most important thing. And also because of the coordination and everything, it's much easier to play it when you have nice and stable way how to sit and not to like this. Yeah, that's it. Hi Wolfgang. So one short question for you. It's not very hard. Why is still important for young people like us to listen drummers like Steve Gadd? That's it.
I think every drummer should listen to the legends. No matter what you're interested in, at least you should have heard a guy like Steve Gadd, because he's one of the architects of modern drumming, I would say. His sound, his touch is so unique, and he's definitely one of the few masters of all times, I would say. Exactly like you should listen to Ringo Starr, of course you should have heard Charlie Watts. It's always good to listen to people you might not be interested in, or a style of music you might not be interested in, but at least you've heard it. So if you are into heavy rock as a young guy, make sure at least you have heard the name Steve Gadd and maybe check some recordings, because the touch of that guy is so unique, it's so very special, and it really changed my life. Seeing him here in Frankfurt more than 30 years ago now. Now you're wondering, 30 years ago? I'm just looking like 30. No, I was listening to Gadd, and it really, really changed my life, because I've experienced a certain musicality I've never experienced again, besides listening to Gadd, yes, but nobody else has that touch. At the same time, I was listening to Simon Phillips also here at Music Fair, and also I listened to Ian Pace of Deep Purple. They were all here in that year of '83, and each is like a legend in his own way, in his own right, and everybody has to say something very, very special. So Gadd is one of the few guys you have to really check. Hi Jost, I've seen you playing with so many different people, from Vicky Leandros to, of course, Jan Delay, to Metalex with Randy Brecker, to Barry Finnerty Band, and whatever you touch sounds amazing, first of all, as everybody knows. Hope you know too. How do you manage, or how did you manage to get so into each style? Whatever you play sounds like really original. It sounds really like Jost Nickel. No matter whether it's rock, jazz, funk, it all sounds like you, but you always also play with that big tradition in mind, I think, or in the background, and it's very unique, I would say. So how did you manage to work on all those styles? I want to know, because I'm a big fan of you.
Wolfgang, thank you for this question, and thank you for everything. I always try to, just like you, I think, I always try to play like myself. So adjust to the style of music I play, but then add as much as I can from my own taste and my own way of playing the drums. So basically I think it comes from not wanting to sound like anybody else, I guess. So Karl, my question for you is, when you, especially at the beginning of the show, when you start the show with Robbie Williams and you play the first song along with the click, do you sometimes feel that the song seems too slow?
That's a good question. I have definitely felt that sensation before. I would say adrenaline can also make a click feel like it's different in some way. Sometimes the tempo doesn't feel what it should be. That can be adrenaline. Did you hear that click track going there? Right on cue. It can be adrenaline, excitement, tiredness. I guess if you're hungover, which doesn't happen to me, and I guess if you're a little unwell, be careful what medication you take. I would say if you're not well, that's slowing down. It's a terrible click track. There you go. That's my answer. Thank you.
Rick, I want to know, what was the inspiration behind your first book, Linear Drum Patterns? I think it's Linear Funk Drumming. It's a very important book. A lot of guys have it, and I just would like to know what inspired you to create that book.
Okay, Mike, I'm going to give you the answer, man. My inspiration for my first book, Advanced Funk Studies, was really Steve Gadd. Also, of course, Harvey Mason, David Garibaldi, all the great guys at late 70s playing that linear style. And I was going to North Texas at the time, actually, teaching and working on a master's degree. And a lot of the teachers there suggested that I write a book because I was always trying to transcribe all these linear licks. So that's the answer. Pretty much Steve Gadd was the major influence. And I hope everybody gets a kick out of my Advanced Funk Studies book. See ya. Hey Manny, I got a question for you, man. I know you played with Randy Hansen for many years, and I was a big Hendrix fan myself. I wanted to know, what's your favorite Jimi Hendrix tune to play? That's my question to you, my man. Ciao.
Hey Rick, yeah, I have a lot of Hendrix songs I like, and I like complex Hendrix songs. It's 1983 is a very complex song. It's nice. It's different parts, jazzy, groovy, rocky, change, speed, tempos. It's inside. It's everything. Sounds. That's a very good song. I like that very much. And we played with Randy Hansen live. Hi Derrick. How do you come up with the grooves, with the ideas for your grooves in Jamiroquai?
Okay, what happens is initially Jay does a demo of the track with a drum machine, and then from there I come into the studio and I listen to the demo track and the sounds from the drum machine, and what I do is I then tune my drums to fit what the drum machine sounds like, and then I then elaborate on that groove and make it more of my style. I normally think of a track like an old school track that comes into my head and which feels similar to the demo that he's done, and then I just initially start with that, and then I just elaborate on that groove and make it my own, in my own style, and just create the groove. So there's more just to keep it grooving along. That's how I do it. Yeah. Mike, I've seen your drum kit and it's huge. What I want to know is this: how long would it take you personally to set it up if you had to put it in a van and take it to a gig?
Well, it depends. Depends on a few things. If it's this drum set, it takes about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. And it goes together pretty fast. If there's good lighting, like in this place, I can see everything because everything's marked and color coded. But it's a big job, and I designed the drum kit so that to display some of the Gibraltar hardware and some of the PDP and DW hardware. So it's quite involved. It's a mixture of things, and the company that gives me the drums here in Germany is called Geva, and they wanted me to create something that showcased all the products. So it's quite involved, and it takes about 90 minutes to put together. I have smaller kits that are also well marked, and those take about 1 hour to put together. So normally I have someone helping me put this together, but for this show I came alone and I spent a lot of time working on it. But it's fun. It's fun to build drums. It took me 4 days to build the drum set, and yeah, about 90 minutes to put together. That's including miking and checking the in-ear monitor system. Okay? All right.
Thanks for watching Cat with Hats.